Alright, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash, double honor to apostles and elders at GMS, to the elect through the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalawam. GMS precepts here in the Zar Chud. And I want to do a lesson. I got Hebrews pulled up. I don't have an article today. I just want to go into a lesson that I thought about while watching a video. That I believe it was Apostles' video. Spark my brain into the sacrifice. As you see here, I got Hebrews pulled up here, and I want to go into the sacrifice of Abraham. Right. This is Hebrews 11 and 17. It says, "By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac." Right. So, the scriptures speak about how all things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. So in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, it goes into the topic of this. Pretty much a whole chapter is faith, right? And it goes into the different accounts in the scriptures throughout our history about faith and how important it is, right? Matter of fact, the 6th verse, it says, "But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." You see, so it's impossible. It is impossible to please him. Okay, in order to please the Most High, we have to have a level of faith, which He gives to us liberally. You see, okay. So going down here, and then it goes into the different stories in the scriptures where faith was a factor, right? So Abraham showed a high level of faith when he was ready and willing to offer up his son Isaac, his only begotten son at the time, as a sacrifice. Why? Because he was told to by the Most High, right? And he had enough faith. He had he had so much faith that despite him being told to offer up his only begotten son, that he felt that the Most High was what he asked him to do was the right thing. He didn't know why. He didn't want to do it. You see? But he had faith in the fact that, okay, he's asking me to do this for a reason. The Most High is asking me to offer up my only begotten son for a reason. I don't understand the reason at the time, but I'm still going to do it. That's a high level of faith. And it's not something like, oh, you got to quit your job, or you got to change your sneakers or something. This is not something that light. He's telling Abraham to offer up his son. I'll read that again. It says, "By faith, when Abraham was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son." Right, and he was ready and willing to do it. Obviously, we know the story. He was up. I believe that angels had to hold him. I don't want to, but so he was about to. He had the dagger in his hand, and he was about to come down with it, but then he stopped. You see, but that's a high level of faith. So I bring that out to say, uh, you know, being an example for us today, we have to be ready and willing to give up everything to follow the Most High, right? To follow Yahawashi, to be a servant of His, right? Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies, what? A living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is what? Which is your reasonable service. So we have to be ready and willing to give our bodies as a living sacrifice, right? So that's your physical body. That's the cares that you have of this world. That might be your son. That might be your daughter. That might be a career. We have to be ready and willing to give up certain things to follow Yahawashi. What's another good example of it? It just sparked my brain when Yahawashi came on the scene and he saw Peter and Andrew, Simon. He saw John and James and John. He saw them fishing, and what did he tell them? He said, "Follow me, and I will make ye fishers of men." And what did? they dropped whatever they was doing. They dropped their nets and they followed Yahawashi because they felt, or their spirit told him that he was the Messiah spoken about. That takes a high level of faith. They gave up careers, and at that time, and it pretty much still is. Fishing is a lucrative business, man. You can make a decent wage. As far as back then, you can make a decent wage fishing, and I'm sure you do right now. Even though this world is so fucked up and depleted, it's probably not that many fish. I know it's a fish shortage out there. I was watching a documentary on tuna. They're just removing all the damn tuna out the fucking sea, but that's another video. But still in all, that shows a lot of faith to do that, right? Where I'm at, right? Hebrews. Let me go to Matthew's, the 10th chapter. Right. This is Matthew's 10 and 37. It says, "He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." I think I could start. Let me start at 35. Right, because I know what 34 is, right? So Matthew's 10 and 35, it says, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against his mother. Against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me." So for you to say, you have to be ready and willing to drop all things to follow Yahawashi. And if you don't drop all things, or if you're not willing to drop all things for Yahawashi, the Most High is not you. He said it here. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So you're not worthy of Yahawashi if you're not willing to sacrifice everything, right? Right. That's why the scriptures say, "Gird up your loins as a pure soldier for Yahawashi." This is not an easy route to deal with. We have to be ready and willing, and in some cases, we literally have to give up certain things to follow Yahawashi. We sacrifice days, we sacrifice hours, and we're not doing it for a reason. We're doing it for salvation. We're doing it out of fear. We don't want to be partakers of what's to come here in America. Okay? He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it, right? And the ones that lose their lives for the sake of Yahawashi, for the sake of Yahawashi, are going to find their life. How are they going to find their life? They're going to receive salvation up out of here. Because according to prophecy, we know what's coming: total death and destruction. The Esau's kingdom is going to get ripped from his greasy paws, right? We know that's coming. But we don't want to be partakers of the mayhem and the death that's going to take place here. And if you turn on the news, you can see 2024 is starting off with fire. Okay, it's starting off with a bang, right? So it's time to bunker down, man, and you got to be ready and willing to sacrifice. In this situation, Isaac sacrificed his kid, his only begotten son. We have to be willing to do that too. We have to be willing to. Now, I'm not saying you have to physically sacrifice. Let me clear that up here. I'm not saying you have to be ready and willing to literally sacrifice a kid, but the kid represents a care. So Isaac, he represents a care of this world. Okay? Whether it be a career, it could be a literal son, it could be a literal daughter, it could be something that you hold very dear to you, because Isaac Abraham loved his son. And at that time, it was his only son. imagine it's not really comparable, but imagine you have a car. It's your only way to work. It's your, it has some sentimental value or whatever. But you use that car to go to work, and it was a car that was given to you from your father as it's an antique or whatever. But the Most High comes to you and tells you, "Yo, sell that car." Now you're gonna think, "Damn, how am I gonna get to work?" And man, I've got so much history in this car, and blah blah blah. It's gonna be tough, but I gotta sell it. You gotta be ready and willing to sell that car. You gotta be ready and willing to give up cares you have in this life for Yahawashi. Why? It is your reasonable service. It's your reasonable service. Okay? That's pretty much it. I hit the points. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. To the next show. Shalawam.